My name is Wanja Maina. I am Kenyan. I am a young woman in politics and also a leader in my political party. For me, I think my journey into politics was never like a structured journey. It was just a person who has been very interested in community issues since I was young. You know, it all starts from when you're in school, you are a prefect. When you're in school, you're given responsibilities. When you go to maybe university, you take up a leadership role. And then you find yourself in youth groups. You find yourself in advisory boards. And that's how I've been able to transition into leadership up to where I am now. Politics, as it has always been made, probably in Kenya or even in the region, really, it is always made to look like it is something so dirty, something so bad, where people have to come and fight and harm each other so that they can grab power. But for me, I see politics as a means to social-economic empowerment of people, because it's politics that decides how much I'll pay for my transport, how much I'll buy for bread and milk. So politics really affects our day-to-day lives. It's not every day that you see young women who are interested in hard subjects like politics. Young women are often seen to be consumers or people who are interested in just contemporary issues and lifestyle issues, which is not bad, but it is generally frowned upon that young women will be interested in hard subjects, hard in quotes, like politics and economics. For me, being a young woman who is in politics, I've maintained the momentum, particularly through media engagement, use of social media. I really embrace both traditional and new media. So how has the journey been? I think the journey has been interesting, but also hard. Interesting in this way, I'm generally very enthusiastic about politics. I remember arguing or having stories with my teachers when I was young about politics and current affairs. But what's more interesting along the journey is that I have realized that passion is not enough, passion alone. So I'm working really hard to ensure that I translate the passion into now skills, a skill set that can help me to navigate. I think many challenges that I face, I would particularly say some are internal, like lack of the prerequisite skills or lack of ability to negotiate. And that's why such an academy is important, lack of a support system. But the other things that I face are actually external. For example, in my role as an NEC member and a representative of marginalized people in my political party, sometimes I do realize that even though I'm seen to be a leader there, maybe I'm not able to influence budgets, or the people who carry budgets are not able to, the people who influence budgets are not able to hear my voice. Sometimes I find that the things that I recommend are not taken seriously. So those are the things that I face. It doesn't help much if you're like me, who has a lot of intersectionalities, as they say, where I am young, I am a person with a disability, and I'm also female. So I end up finding myself in a very funny middle ground, whereby I do struggle in terms of being taken seriously, or rather there are barriers where decision makers do not take me seriously. What inspires me for the future? I think what is inspiring me for the future is that the world is changing. 2024 was the year of democracy. We saw a lot of shifts in terms of how people were electing their leaders. We saw a lot of changes. We saw regimes that have been there for so long being changed and being replaced with new regimes. So as the world is changing, my hope is that even in Kenya, the world will change so that leaders are just seen to be leaders and not necessarily male or female leaders. A good democracy in Kenya and around the world is a democracy where both men and women can be able to vote and to be voted for without barriers, without being relegated to special seats, without being told to talk to their elder brothers, or without being told to talk to their clansmen. But even on a global level, a lot is changing, which is impressive. For example, the African Union just elected a deputy chairperson. AUC deputy chairperson is a woman. We've also seen countries like Namibia also doing what has not been done before in terms of electing a woman. In Kenya, women are still organizing. You know, we are very political. We have elections in around 2 years' time. I hope that people who invest in elections, people who invest in electoral assistance, people who invest in their resources in enhancing democracy will appreciate, and they will take women, men, youth as people who can potentially be leaders in their communities without ifs or buts. My take home from this conference, my take home from this academy, first, it has validated me that my leadership is appreciated and my leadership is seen, and that I am contributing, and that's why I was selected to participate in the academy. My second take home for me is about political positioning. We were taught about political positioning, which is using all tools on your disposal for your political advantage. I think that even though I might have advantages, I've never been very strategic in how I position myself. But using the skills we've been taught, including media skills, mental health skills, skills to deconstruct gender and social norms, I'll use all those skills to position myself politically in such a way that by the time we get into 2027, I'll be a person of great repute and a person who can be able to influence political decisions. Therefore, for me, every day when I'm doing my political activities, what will be coming to mind is about positioning, political positioning, political marketing, political branding. That is all that is on my mind now. At the conference, at the academy, my experiences have been nothing but amazing. From, of course, having my birthday that coincided with the academy, but also just networking. You know, it's not every day that you meet a lot of young people, almost your age mates, participating in politics, participating in the public policy and public affairs of their country. So for me, I see this as a step in the right direction in terms of the young people who will be in African parliaments in the future. And therefore, my experience has been networking, getting new skills, getting affirmed that a good democracy is where women vote and they're able to be also voted for.